Response surface designs help you cover curvature in your experiments. It's something that traditional factorial designs struggle with. The most popular response surface designs are Central Composite Designs and Box-Behnken Designs. But what's the difference and which one should you choose for your experiment? Let's break it down. This is a central composite design. It consists of two main parts: a factorial design at its core and additional star-like axial points that extend beyond the design space. Box-Behnken designs, they take a different approach. They do not have a factorial base, but place the experimental runs at the midpoints of the edges of the design space. But what does that mean for you, and how do these two designs compare to each other? Since Box-Behnken designs keep points more centered, they often require fewer experimental runs compared to a comparable central composite design. But that is only half the story, because the great benefit of a central composite design is that it has a factorial design at its base. And that means that it is more flexible and that you don't have to run all the experiments at once. You can start small with a fraction of the data points with the fractional design. Analyze what you learn, decide if you need more data. If yes, add factorial points, perform a full factorial design. And if that is still not enough to describe your system and you find that it is necessary to capture curvature, you also add the axial points to the design. This iterative approach is called sequential experimentation, and it's a great benefit of central composite designs. Because often when you start a project, you have little to no knowledge about your factors, how they interact, which factors are even significant, and whether or not there is even a curvature in your response. Because if there isn't, you can save a lot of time, because then you don't need these additional star-like points that you have in the central composite design, and you're well off with a fractional or full factorial design. With central composite design, you have the flexibility to find that out step by step, and you can refine your design based on what you learn along the way without locking yourself into a fixed structure from the start. On the other hand, the great benefit of Box-Behnken designs is that you never extend outside the original design space as you do with the axial points in a central composite design. And a Box-Behnken design never includes extreme points, where all factors hit their maximum or minimum at the same time, so you won't see those extreme all high or all low combinations. Both can be good if you're worried about pushing your process to dangerous limits. Like in a chemical reaction, let's say you are worried that your experiment can go over the roof if you are testing the high temperature and high pressure setting at the same time. So you're able to kind of run your experiment in a safe operating zone. So, which design should you choose? In my opinion, Central Composite Design is the better choice if your experiment does not need careful control and if you can afford these more extreme conditions. The reason is sequential experimentation and the flexibility you have with Central Composite Design to iterate. You can start small when you don't know much about your system and extend the design as you learn more.